Just like somebody look at a young teenager or a kid that's 12 years old, and they look at his height. He might be 6 feet, and he only 12 years old. People don't say, well, hey, this kid, he might be good at drawing, and he might be good writing his own personal little stories, about super action hero. He might develop his own super action hero, and he like writing his own story. But do somebody try to enrich that skill in that kid? Do somebody try to develop that and say, hey, man, you really a good writer. I think you got the potential to be, the next Langston Hughes or the next Richard Wright or the next Carter G. Woodson or the next John Henry Clark. Those writers are writers that change and influence the world with the way that they lay their pen down on their paper. Nobody don't inspire a kid with that. But then they say at the same time, man, you 12 years old. You wear a size 13. Boy, I'm sure be glad when I come see you play with the Lakers. But yet, when he turned 32 or 34 years old, he on the way out the league if he do make it. But when you think about all the athletes in the country, probably 1 out of every 1,000 make the pros. Now, look at those odds. That kid stand a better chance of being a writer, making his own poetry CD or making his own comic script. Now, that chance there is a real chance. But do we develop that as parents, black parents in America and throughout the world? We don't develop that. This whole world set up on sports and entertainment, and that's the thing. If we really think about it, who did Africans in Egypt, in Ethiopia, and in the Sudan, who did they really build this history for? If you really think about it, the history was built for their children. Because stone doesn't erode, and if it does erode, it takes thousands and thousands and thousands of years. Stone, bone, and teeth, those are the things that live on through millenniums, through centuries, through generations. So this is who Africans build their pyramids, and this is who the Great Walls of Zimbabwe, the cave paintings in North Africa, in Timbuktu, on the Niger River, down in Mali, in Shanghai. All of these people, they built the things that they want their children to carry on and be able to see their greatness. They built it in stone. These temples, these great buildings, those are for their children to be inspired. No matter where they were away from home, no matter what history was taken away from them, they was built in stone where they could always come back and look at the greatness or look at the potential that they had. So people back then, it seems now, had a better understanding about building and inspiring their children in the future. And that's what we got to get back to. Some of the most prized people in history have been your artists and your writers and your thinkers. Not some of your most, but your most prized people in any society are your writers, your artists, and your thinkers. Are basically y'all like your elders, because they're the ones that call for a better tomorrow. They're the ones that plan and organize and put a systematic approach to the development of the youth into the future. They're the ones that look at society at the time that they're living in and say, how could this be better? What's the defects in the system that we have? Those are your writers, thinkers, and artists. An artist, he can write about the past, but an artist draw and paint about their living present. They paint and draw about what they want in the future. They put their aspirations, their dreams, their hopes into their artwork. A writer, they do basically the same thing. And the thinkers, they do basically the same thing. So those are your most powerful people in any society. And anytime you don't have those and you look to your entertainment people to make you laugh and smile as your leaders, you ain't going to never be nothing, because they're the ones that the enemies use to make you believe that that's your future. Your future is entertainment. Your future is singing and dancing and acting and clowning and making other people happy and other people rich. But those are not your scholars. You will never see a European have an athlete speak for white people. You will never see Frank Sinatra or John Wayne say, this is the way that we feel about a certain situation as a white man. All he do is act. All he do is do his stories for Hollywood. He do his cowboy movies. He do his big bad, The Sands of Iwo Jima. He do his marine movies. He do his big, great white man lover with the white woman and Gone with the Wind, Clark Gable and all this stuff. But you never see those actors and entertainers and athletes speak for the benefit and the betterment of their people. But we, with our trained and miseducated self, we look to Michael Vick or Beyonce or Lil' Kim or Foxy Brown to speak and be role models for our children. They go to the schools and tell them about having respect for themselves, and at the same time, they got on some Daisy Dukes with fake breasts